Hi, I'm Peter Haddock and I'm here in Iceland with Heiðar, who's the plant fleet manager for IAV. Heiðar, we've just been talking about the business, 70 years old, and the projects that you're on now. You're even widening a road you originally built many, many years ago. But your projects that you're doing range from all around Iceland, all different types of buildings and structures. But you've just taken on another digital journey with MachineMax, and I just wanted to talk to you about that in front of one of your brand new Volvo wheel loaders with this steel wrist. Tell me a little bit about what the project is that with the MachineMax that you've done for the next 2 months and how that is already helping you as a business change things.
Right, it has changed a lot for us. We have much better view of what we're doing and when we're doing it. Especially with project managers, they are able to see it firsthand on day-to-day basis or hour-to-hour basis, actually. So they are managing the fleet better, making the equipment work harder.
Yep.
And with less intervals or no intervals at all, even. And in the future, it should even get better because we are putting more machines on. And yeah, we can see it's changed a lot already.
Now, we were talking earlier, there's now 30 plus machines. There's going to be 60 to 100 of your machines in the next few months. And what you've done is you've gone and looked at every machine on the fleet and said, look, can we connect to these machines through the actual APIs for the different brands. So you've got Volvo, I've seen some Liebherr out there as well today. So you've got all different OEMs that you're wanting to monitor from, and before you had a single person actually doing all that for a project that would take their whole job to find all the information and CO2 emissions that your client wanted. That's going to be a big change for that person, but also now it's all readily available and in a right dashboard and report format, which is really important moving forward, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It's changed everything, and in so many aspects. We can see where the machines are, for an example. Just this morning, there was a machine that has to be moved from one side to another.
Yep.
It happens during the night because it's so big. And in the morning, when we came to the office, we didn't know if it had been moved last night or if it's going to be moved next or tonight.
Yeah.
And he just looked at the screen at MachineMax with a geo map.
Yep.
And see it hadn't been moved. So instead of calling like 3 or 4 people, check if it was where it was today, then he just looked at the screen and it just made everything more easy. He just at that moment he saved some 10 or 15 minutes maybe.
Yeah. And also, you know, he knows exactly how to now look into that system from his phone, not even logging on to the actual computer first thing in the morning. And so, you know, could have got to that site in the past, he told me, when the machine hasn't been moved to the site he's already on, and that just causes all sorts of problems, doesn't it? But one of the things that I thought was really interesting is you are really looking at idle time straight away. That was the first big thing why you got MachineMax system in. And you quoted things like 2 or 3% up to about 60% idle time on some machines due to the way in which people were using them or just keeping them running when they could just turn them off. And now that information, that digital information, is helping your project managers get one version of the truth, we call it, in the UK, and saying to people, look, it's okay to turn the machine off. And that's a change in behaviours for the operators, isn't it?
For 5 or 6 years we made a lot of effort to reduce the idling time.
Yeah.
But it's hard because it's we have strange weather in Iceland, so you tell him to turn it off, oh, then it goes cold, and it's kind of in the mentality.
Yep.
So we have to change the mentality, so it's even more difficult than it maybe somewhere else.
In the UK, for example, yeah.
Yeah. So now we have this, and it kind of helps the group to come together to finish this project of reducing idling time. So the project manager and the operator, they come together to reduce the idling time. That's one of the things that's made this more efficient.
Yeah. What I see all the time with data and information, even you're using 3D machine control and things like that as well. You know, people come together like engineers and operators for the first time. Now you're talking about the site managers and you as the fleet manager that's in the office coming together with individual operators to support them in what they're doing. And then, you know, that has a big impact because obviously fuel here is really expensive, folks. It has to come in to Iceland and be imported. And every drop you can save actually goes straight down to the bottom line, doesn't it?
Yes, definitely. Definitely. The fuel is a big part. Reducing idling time, also there's so many different things that change. The oil change, fuel oil change. The biggest item is that reselling price, it's just totally different.
Right.
You know, if you want to get rid of it at 10,000 hours or 8,000 hours, reducing idling time by 20% or even 10%, it makes you're able to use the machines even for a year or two longer.
Yeah,
you know,
of course.
And get the same price for it after that.
And that's the residual value element there. It's something I didn't even think about. You know, maintenance, of course, really important for engines and timings. And if you're under warranty with the manufacturer, they're going to want those maintenance cycles and the hours you've worked, whether they've been idling or not. But that residual value, or that ability to say, instead of changing over a 3-year period, we can change over a 4-year period, that saves the business a huge amount of money, doesn't it?
Yeah, huge amount and a lot of effort.
Yeah, because you've got to cycle them all out and build the next ones in, like we see behind us here.
Yeah.
So you're 2 months in. You've already made some changes. We've already seen some significant gains for the business, and now you're rolling out to the rest of the fleet. But one thing that really did make me smile, folks, is we were talking earlier and said, I'm getting phone calls from the project managers saying, what about, how can I reduce my idle time? How can I do this? It's almost getting competitive out there now, isn't it? With the different projects to say, how can I do this? But you are getting customers also wanting that information, and now you can just give it to them at the touch of a button rather than a huge Excel spreadsheet system, can't you?
Yeah, it's a different world for me.
Yeah.
Very excited.
Yeah. And so we can spend more time sitting outside in the sun like we are in Iceland now, because we've got it all under control. And to be honest, when you just get the phone out and just see what's going on, you could be anywhere, couldn't you? So it all helps the whole process here to reduce carbon. But the biggest impact is all about costs and how you run the business as a fleet manager. So it's fascinating to learn how you're developing in just a short space of time, how it's changed your life. And I do hope to see you in the future when we can see all that data coming through and see how you've changed and transformed the idle time. And of course, folks, the most important thing, profitability. Cheers.
Yeah, thank you.